Go. Chaos erupts in Mexico, man. Another war. Civil war for them. That's crazy.
This is a Fox News alert. We're continuing to monitor the situation unfolding in Mexico, where the U.S. Embassy has put out a security alert for all American citizens to shelter in place. This comes amid reports of violence erupting in the state of Jalisco. Tourists at a resort in the city of Puerto Vallarta were told not to leave the resort.
To be told as a U.S. citizen, you're told a war's breaking out and you told you gotta stay, bruh. I don't know what I would have did. Nah, bruh. That's crazy.
Photos and videos shared with Fox News Digital capture billowing dark smoke clouding the skyline of the city.
That's a bad dream. It ain't even funny, bro. That's a bad dream that's happening. For real. Them folks can't go home.
This frightening situation occurs after Mexican security forces say they killed one of the most notorious drug cartel leaders in their country, El Mencho, head of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. All right, so this comes not just in a vacuum. It comes in context of President Trump declaring the cartels foreign terrorist organizations and then taking out Maduro. Would Mexico be doing this if it hadn't been for the pressure President Trump is putting on them?
I don't believe so. I mean, I don't know the domestic politics of Mexico in depth. I know that Mexico has every leader we've seen in Mexico has tried to find some way to, I guess, live with these cartels, maybe out of fear, maybe out of being corrupt in bed with them. I'm not sure, but I think.
Hey, you know they was corrupt. You know that it ain't even hard to figure out. You know that was corrupt, but it ain't even allegedly. It's just obvious.
Trump's made it clear that we're not going to stand for it, and they're just a little bit. Listen, if Democrats want us to have an open border, we might can just jump across that border going in the other direction and take care of some of these folks. And so that's been rather than letting the.
That's exactly what they gonna do. Jump over there, tighten everything up, and then it's gonna be a little while, couple months. They gonna get right.
In, we're going to push the door, make it open the other way, and send some folks in down there. It's kind of been the threat with President Trump in this administration. We did see what happened in Venezuela, and I don't think Mexico is far off from that. I don't think we're going to try to overthrow the government, but these cartels aren't waging war. These cartels are waging war on us, not just Mexico. And for that reason, we have every right in the world to have an interest in them going away. And it seems like Mexico maybe feels empowered, maybe supported. I'm not sure what we're doing is in the shadows, but it looks like they're taking.
On the U.S., for real. Man, cut it out.
Steps to correct that.
Yeah, I like that idea of open borders work both ways. That's very, very cool. Look, I forgot his name. He's
El Mencho.
El Mencho, that's right. Convicted in 1994.
He don't even know buddy name.
3 years in prison in the U.S. and was released. And he goes back and he's like flooding the country with fentanyl. Tommy, what's going on here? Where we have these people in jail and we release them, and then they go back and with terrorists they kill Americans.
We had buddy. We had him. He was right in our hands. He wreaking havoc. See?
With drug cartel leaders, they go back and poison Americans. Why are we?
We've got repeat offenders on the street of every major American city, right? And this feels like a running narrative. We got to end it. I think President Trump has mentioned more than once that he is more than happy to assist with President Sheinbaum, if she so desires, in dealing with their cartel problem. Now, up until now, I don't think that she's necessarily given him the green light to do so. Maybe what's going on right now will change that. I certainly hope so. But I will also say this, just to the point on the Americans that are in Mexico being asked to shelter in place at their resort.
You need help? You better say you need help. Right. This ain't nothing to mess around with. She thinking about it. All right.
Can't imagine how terrifying that is right now because of what's going on, and we're seeing images all over social media. I mean, it looks like a war zone because it probably is. I would also just say this. I had a friend of mine who was murdered in Mexico in Playa del Carmen about 6 or 7 years ago, just down there on a bachelor trip or a birthday vacation, murdered in the streets and left there. Mexico, in a lot of places, is not safe for Americans. And I know a lot of Americans think if they're in a resort that everything is fine, nothing can possibly get to them there. Julie and I were talking off camera. Hey, listen, there are a lot of beautiful places in the United States of America that are warm and sunny, Florida being one of them, a heck of a lot safer. So
Safe and safe. Big on the safe part. She's totally right. Man, you out there in Mexico, boy, ain't no telling what's gonna happen. You gotta keep your head on a big swivel. It ain't even no swivel. They get you, really, they get you. But,
perhaps Americans should consider that, especially with what's going on right now.
And the former Dutch West Indies, which are now the U.S. Virgin Islands.
There you go.
Them from the Dutch. So, Molly, just look at the record. President Trump, he got Soleimani. He got the Abbey Gate bomber. He got the Benghazi terrorists. He got Maduro. And now through pressure on the Mexican government, he got El Mencho. That's a heck of a record. If I was the Ayatollah Khamenei, would I be a little bit nervous?
Yeah, there was a 15 million bounty on El Mencho. So he's been out there among the most wanted men involved in these cartel activities for quite a long time. And of course, the great credit goes to the Mexican military here as well. And actually, as we're talking about Claudia Sheinbaum, the President Jillian Turner, our State Department anchor and reporter, just flagged that she put out a statement talking about how this did result in various blockades and other reactions, and also offering praise to the Mexican Army, the National Guard, the armed forces, which brings me back to what you brought up at the very beginning, Mark, where you talked about the pressure that President Trump, at the very beginning of this new second administration, put on not just Mexico, but on Canada in redefining what these cartels mean broadly, that they're terrorist organizations, and kind of drawing and putting this pressure on through tariffs to a certain extent, which makes it interesting and perhaps notable in the Supreme Court's most recent decision. So we'll be seeing how this continues and how the pressure continues on these states. But as you mentioned, there have been these big successes, including reining in the fentanyl trade and reducing deaths here in America. So this perhaps is just one more part of that, and we'll see what's, and obviously beyond that, a very dangerous situation still unfolding, a lot of Americans' precarious situations right at this moment.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to